Did you know that 43% of Americans between the ages of 13 and 64 report getting a poor amount of sleep on the weeknights?
No, I do not know that.
Okay. More than half of these same people also report a sleep problem every night, if not every other night, such as snoring, tossing and turning, or waking up too early and not feeling refreshed or fully awake. Approximately 2/3 of Americans say their sleep needs are not being met. Many say they need about 7.5 hours of sleep to feel more awake and refreshed in the mornings. However, they may get less than 6 hours of sleep on the weeknights. David Cloud, the CEO of the National Sleep Foundation, says that communications technology before sleep is pervasive. Many Americans report that they use some type of electronic device, such as a TV, a cell phone, an iPad, a Kindle, or any electronic device, at least an hour before they go to bed. Charles Czeller says that artificial light before we go to bed at night suppresses the sleep hormone melatonin, enhances alertness, and shifts circadian rhythms to a later hour, making it much more difficult to fall asleep. Yes? Yes, Brianna? Okay. 61% of people also say that they use their laptop or phone to surf the web. Cell phones as well, they say, are another cause of sleep deprivation. Reading, sending, and receiving text messages, calls, or emails can also lead to deprivation of sleep. Any questions about that? Yes?
What's depression?
Deprivation? It means the lack of sleep. For example, sleep deprivation is the lack of sleep. Like, you know, sometimes Dad has some trouble sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Many people between the ages of 13 and 18 only get approximately 7 hours and 26 minutes of sleep on the weeknights. About an hour and 45 minutes less than the recommended 9 hours and 15 minutes of sleep. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
The recommended amount of sleep is 9 hours and 15 minutes. Did you know that?
I didn't know that either.
Americans cope with this sleepiness by drinking caffeine and taking regular naps. But here's what I recommend. I don't recommend taking sleep naps after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, according to a research shown that people who go to sleep after 3 o'clock in the afternoon tend to be sleepier and grumpier in the evening hours. I also don't recommend having a nap more than 45 minutes of sleep unless you're trying to go into a deep sleep. 85% of Americans report having affected moods due to lack of sleep. 72% say it affects their school and work life. Here's some advice on how to cope with sleepiness. 1, set a sleep schedule. Does anybody have any questions on what that is? Yes?
What's a sleep schedule?
Sleep schedule is a set time every night and every morning where you go to bed and wake up. For example, let's say you go to bed at 8:30 at night, right? And you wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Does that make sense? But you repeat it. It generally takes place on the weeknights and school nights. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, on weekends you can have a later sleep time. Like you can go to sleep later and wake up later, which is what I do. Number 2 is expose yourself to a bright light in the morning, such as your bedroom light or opening your window so you feel more awake. And avoid that bright light at night. So dim your lights at night so you can go to bed. Number 3 is to exercise. Yes?
If you sleep with your phone at night, do you get radiation?
If you sleep with your phone at night, yes, you do get radiation.
Okay.
Many studies show this. Number 3 is to exercise regularly, like not before you go to bed, but after you wake up in the morning so you feel more awake and refreshed. And you feel like you can start your day much better than you ended it. Yes. And number 4, most important one, avoid caffeine, chocolate, and alcohol at night because it will mess with your sleep.
How do they mess with your sleep?
How do they mess with your sleep? Caffeine is generally what's being used to be kept up. Like, I would recommend drinking a cup of coffee in the morning instead of a cup of coffee at night or tea in the evening because the sugar can keep you awake at night. Any questions?
So is there anything you can do besides just turning them off an hour early?
There is more you can do. Scientists have researched this, and it's said that many people between dusk and when you go to bed, that is the most critical area of time to where you can shut off your electronics and go to bed instead of having them on throughout the night. But some cell phones have these capabilities where you can turn it on do not disturb, and you can turn it on for a specific number of hours and then it automatically turns off when your alarm goes off. Any more questions? Thank you. Have a great day.